Hey, Jamie.
What's up? Good morning.
Couple hours out before the quarterfinals. Good day yesterday. Um, going into the quarterfinals, Penn State sits in first place. 6 guys still on the championship side. Ohio State second. 5 guys. Oklahoma State third. 4 guys. Iowa's fourth. They've got 7 guys, but they got some guys who are definitely outperforming their seed. We'll see if they can keep it up. And even with 7 guys in the championship bracket, they're still sitting in fourth. Not a lot of bonus points.
They're actually, it looks like third now.
Oh.
I don't know what updated.
Oh, maybe it was Wrestlebacks last
night,
right?
After Wrestlebacks, it's Penn State 32.5, Ohio State 25.5, Iowa 24, Minnesota 20. So top 3 are starting to pull away.
Good stuff yesterday. A lot of fans. The NCAA released, I think it was 17,900 and change. So a lot of people coming to Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Big crowd. I don't think the heavyweights would agree. I think quite a few of that 17,000 number was out after 197, especially in the Conci round.
Yeah, the Conci round,
heavyweights got no love.
17,450 people were gone by then, watching guys like
Billy Miller,
and Haynes and Goodhart struggling on. So jumping into 125, we got a lot of good matchups coming up. We got Rivera and Arujau right off the bat. I think some people sold Arujau's stock short after EIWAs, but he looks tough, right, Jamie?
He definitely is tough. He only had 1 loss coming into conferences, and that was up at 33 to his own teammate.
Yeah.
I mean, he majored Rayvon Foley, Michigan, who has been good all year. And Rivera's had a 4-0 win over Matin, which that bar, I put Rivera way higher. I would have was surprised by that.
Totally. Underimpressed, and I'm looking forward to that one. I'm giving a slight edge to Rivera right now, but Arujau looks good, and it wouldn't surprise me to see a really competitive match there.
I think 3 of the 4 quarters are really good. Lee Russell, I'm not as interested in. I feel like I've seen that before too many times.
Yep.
But Mueller, Bresser, and Glory Piccinini, I mean, those could be great.
Mueller is my pick to make it to the finals from the top half of the bracket. And I was at the Glory Pitch first match during the duel. Glory looked like he was about to dominate Pitch from neutral, but Pitch was able to fend off like 2 or 3 attacks. And then he rode Glory out for the second and third period, I think. And I think he turned him twice. And all of a sudden looked like it was a dominating win when looked like Glory maybe snatched defeat from the jaws of victory.
And that could happen again. Pitch could easily do that again. I mean, you've seen the improvement from him this year, throughout the year. If I had to pick, I'm saying Rivera, Mueller, Lee, Pitch.
Yeah. And you got a ton of Jersey violence here. Pennsylvania, New York represented, Texas, Oregon, but Jersey there, and Florida. Moving on to 133. This was a little bit of a wild one last night. DeSanto and the RBY. DeSanto moving on. 133. Don't think you're going to get into DeSanto's head. He's already so in his own head. There was all sorts of stuff going on during that RBY match, and he didn't care.
But of all the weight classes, it went chalk.
Yeah.
You have 1 through 8 in the quarters.
Yep.
So whether that is true to the seeds or it just the craziness worked its way out.
Right. I'm taking Fix. I'm looking forward to the Pletcher-Philippi match. I'm hoping that Pletcher's not completely defensive there. Little P-on-PA violence.
Yeah, I'm hoping for the local Philippi to get the win there. Suriano Lezak could be interesting. I think Suriano's looking too good now. Lezak has had some struggles. He's had the harder matches to date. And I want to see DeSanto, Micic, and I want to see Micic come out. I mean, he got his revenge last year, but I'm sure he's probably still looking for more.
Probably, and we will see. Miocic has looked like the injury or whatever is going on has not affected him that much or noticeably to me. But DeSanto is going to test you. I mean, RBY is wrestling with his left arm behind his back and, crazy things to defend that. Now, Miocic kind of figured that out a little bit last year, but we'll see how much DeSanto has grown in that Iowa room planning for this match.
Yeah, I'm picking Fix, Philippi, Soriano, and Miocic.
Sounds good. The bottom one's a toss-up for me. 141, Yanni. I'm down in the bowels of the gym, watching the guys go out and through the tunnel, and this guy is a totally different cat. Like, he's talking to everybody. He doesn't look like the normal intense guy. He's talking to like the maintenance people, me, the food service people. He's just like waving at people. He's cool as a cucumber until that whistle blows. He's a funny dude, man. I love him.
And I mean, he's had 2 close matches. He's got decision. Now, Red was kind of expected.
Right.
Peter Lipari was a little bit 5-point win, but I don't see anyone stopping him.
Yeah.
Unless another knee injury that he can't recover from.
Right.
Demas
has looked good. I saw the first one. I did not see the second one. He looks pretty cool down there in the warm-up areas. And
he beat Storr 3-1.
Yeah.
That was a mild 9/8 upset.
Yep.
And Storr's tough.
Yeah.
And Demas is dangerous. So but Yanni's a freestyle guy. He's been in upper body ties and throws and all that. But if Demas gets one, 6 points can be a big hurdle.
Now, if you asked me after Final X, I would have said Ironman would have been Yanni's biggest threat, but he didn't quite have the season I thought he was going to have this year.
Right.
And he's up, against, the Lockhaven guy who's been blowing up the bracket a little bit, Kyle Shoup. I'm taking Shoup to keep going.
I think so, too. I read something earlier that he had wrestled Ironman before, or there was some either head-to-head or transitive property that gave him some good...
Interesting.
Yeah, because he's just a hammer on top.
Yeah.
He's just turning everybody on top. No, Ironman's funky, and that might be a little too much, but I would like to see Shop and see Lockhaven get a couple more place winners.
And then we got Nick Lee, Max Murin, and I like McKee's freestyle thing, but I think McKenna just looks, he looks like Skeletor focused. He's a tough looking dude. There was no peeking in that room this weekend. It looks like he, worked his butt off. He's banged up before the tournament even started on his face.
I can't imagine that McKee's going to give him a harder match than Brock did, and he majored Brock 14-1.
Yeah.
And I think Lee should just take Murin. Too much. Freshman, junior, sophomore, whatever. I think he's just Lee's too experienced.
I agree, and I'm looking forward to that rematch of Lee and McKenna if it happens in the semi. Yeah, the rubber match here for the season. Going up to 49, we got Ashnault, Schnaltes, Mobbin. I talked to him earlier in the season. I think it was the Princeton Open. He was still having doubts about his shoulder and the long process for recovery, but he's looked solid all season. He's had dominating wins over Kolodzik. He's game planned better than I've ever seen him game plan, and he just looks like the guy to beat right now.
No doubt. I don't see anybody touching him at this point unless something happens. I'm shocked to hear a Jersey guy has lack of confidence. It doesn't seem to fit the mold, but no, he's been lights out. Jeffries has been pulling upsets on everybody the last few weeks, and he had a real controlling 7-1 win.
Yeah.
Deegan's dangerous, but I think he gets by that pretty easily, and I don't think the semi is going to be any harder for him. I think he's got a pretty nice walk to the finals, and to be honest, that might not even be that hard either. He's seen those guys.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Kolodzik his stock has really slid here in the second quarter, and he's wrestling smart. I don't think he's dominating, but I think he's wrestling smart. I think he's going to get to see Ashnault again, and we'll see if he's changed anything up in the semis. Fine-Silver, O'Connor's a stingy wrestler, but I just feel like Fine-Silver, I think, is, Mitch. This is Mitch Feinsilver for everybody paying attention. He's, I think, the best of all the brothers, at least this season, and that should be a good match because he's aggressive, and we'll see if he can get O'Connor to open up.
I don't know if I mean, Feinsilver and O'Connor obviously probably have wrestled a bunch. Feinsilver seated ahead of him, so I got to assume he's won the majority of them. So I would go with him, but I wouldn't count on Kolodzik beating Mahler. I mean, Mahler is just a hammer of a freshman.
Yeah.
They got 4 guys coming from that same high school with Ironman, Mahler, Jacques.
Yeah.
And they're just funky. I mean, Mahler's 31-2.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many people Missouri wrestled this year.
I agree.
I like what Coach Smith has done. I mean, I've been to visit. I love the room, and they got a tight group. I mean, it's so tight they won't even fight each other in the UFC. Like, that's a tight room.
Right.
Years afterwards, so I dig it.
Well, this is a tight group that came up through high school together. Yeah. Ironman trained, and now we're at Missouri. And they got 4 of them in a row in the starting lineup. Right. I got Mahler winning.
I'm thinking Kolodzik, Colo. I'm taking O'Connor, and then Lugo Jordan. Jordan's looked good so far.
He has.
And I'm taking him. He has looked good in all 3 areas of the mat that I've watched. So neutral, top, and bottom.
And Lugo has struggled. Now, he technically pulled an upset to beat Blees. Well, no. Blees pulled the upset and beat Gefeller, yeah. And then so Lugo was technically ahead of him, but it was sudden victory too. I mean, it was a last-minute
match, yeah.
takedown in the second neutral. So I think Jordan's going to be too much, and I think Jordan probably walks to the final as well, whether it's Feinsilver or O'Connor.
Should be good. 57, Nolf. Nolf was he had Van Brill yesterday, and that looked like I've never seen his face look like. He just looked different to me, and he's normally emotionless. But, he looked like he was extra focused, maybe a little angry.
I had to confirm with somebody that Van Brill was the one he was wrestling when he hurt his knee, and everybody confirmed it. And I think that had a little extra fire lit under him. And there were people screaming, get out of that position, because he was in that same funky roll.
Yeah. North-south position, and Van Brill lives there. He's good at it.
He was in it again, and people are like, get out of there. Just do whatever. Don't blow out your knee again.
Right.
But, I mean, if you could make a million memes off of the faces Van Brill was making in some of those positions where Nolf was just torturing him.
Yeah, that was some... Yeah.
But Van Brill wouldn't go over.
Yeah.
He ended up tacking him. He couldn't pin him.
He's a tough kid. I like him. Nolf is just... I'm going to, I can't wait to see him at the senior level. I'm going to miss him at the college level. The next one, Hidley and Pantaleo or Pantomime. When I interviewed him last year, he didn't give me the actual pronunciation of his name. He's like, everybody calls me something different. But, again, last year, Hidley met Nolf in the finals. Didn't have the same year.
Right.
Looked a little banged up. Did we see that he took his brace off? Was there something? No, was that not Hidley?
That was
somebody
else.
Yeah.
Reenan
took off the brace. So I think this is going to be a really good quarterfinal, Hidley and Pantaleo. I mean, they're both similar, strong, dynamic, and I'm looking forward to it. I think I'm taking Hidley.
I am.
Yeah.
It's sad when you have a 2-loss season and everyone's saying how down it is from last year. And one of them was to Early, who looked like a bad loss, but he ended up being the 7th seed. He's in the quarterfinals. And then he must have lost at ACCs, right? He lost last week or 2 weeks ago.
I'm not even
that
sure.
was the other one. But I think he takes it. He's just too solid, too fundamental everywhere. I think he gets by him and has the unfortunate pleasure of being on Nolf's side.
I like them both. Hidley is one of those guys who I don't think focuses every time like a Big Ten wrestler might need to. But when it seems like when it's March, he is ready to go.
Yeah, I would have really liked to seen him and Berger, those guys on the bottom.
Right, that would have been fun. Especially with Berger's antics. We can talk about that. We got Deacon and Young and Early and Berger. Deacon.
He's an up and down season.
Yeah.
And now again, he's 31-4, but he's had big wins, he's had big losses, and a lot of in between.
I thought he was going to look crisper. I saw one of his matches yesterday, and I just was not as impressed as I thought I was going to be seeing him in person. Who knows? Look, tough competition. He was wrestling a kid from Pariat, who again, he's not terrible. He can be competitive. I think I'm going to take Young.
Young's look good. I mean, he's put up 30 points.
Yeah.
30 to 3 in his 2 matches. And while the first guy was a high seed, he put it to Keyshawn in the last one.
Yeah. One of the Iowa guys putting up points.
Yeah. Pennsylvania, Western PA.
That's it, right? Exactly. And then we got Early and Berger. Berger, I mean, he is putting on a show out there. He's enjoying his senior run here, pounding his arms and being animated, and I dig it. The pride of Prineville, Oregon. They never get any respect. All those guys out in Oregon and California and Washington, it's like Ice Station Zebra for the wrestling world. But, taunting Nolf or whatever he's doing. One more. Like that.
I'm like, you don't want one more.
I dig it. Like, he's got a screw loose. Like, he might be DeSanto, in mindset. Early's had a good year. He increased his margin of victory over Monday. And his cardio seems like is in a better place than it was in previous years. But I'm still taking Berger.
Yeah, I think Berger's got this. And then I'm hoping Young can pull a local town upset and meet him in the semis.
Yeah. Going up 65, we got Marinelli versus Lewis and Marstell or Wick on the top side. Marinelli's just looking tough. Smith was giving him a run for his money, but it really came down to mental toughness and cardio, I think, and Marinelli just wanted it more, was in better shape. Even with that thing on his leg, that small car.
It is huge.
So I'm taking him. Marsteller Wick is going to be good. Marsteller looks slick in the match. I saw him wrestle. His attacks look great. Can he get out from under Wick? I don't think I've ever seen anybody ride Chance.
Well, this is the rematch from last year's 3rd place. Marsteller's up 2 takedowns to 1. Wick chooses a top cradle pin match over. So
I'm wrong.
Well,
yeah, right.
He didn't ride him long. He just got on top and cradled him.
I'm going with Marsteller because I'm a Pennsylvania guy, and he's got platinum hair, and I dig it.
And he's focused. You hear some of his interviews, read his comments. He's like, he's got the confidence. He knows what he can do. He knows he just has to put his head in the right place. I think he's gonna make a nice run.
Bottom half of the bracket, we got the big one is White versus Joseph. He's been a little bit of the kryptonite for Vincenzo Joseph, or at least tight matches recently. That Joseph is winning, and everybody said Joseph's got an easy ride, but this is a style thing. I just don't think Joseph is quick enough to attack his legs, and has to win in kind of mat wrestling.
Gritty.
Yeah. So I'm taking Joseph, and I think it'll be tight. Shields, I'm taking Shields in the top half of that one.
Steyer pulled a big upset.
He did.
With beating Massa. Massa is another one, whether health, weight, whatever, hasn't looked great all year, and didn't look it in this one. He stayed too close, lost 2-1.
Yeah, and Northern Iowa, I think they're 8th or 9th right now. So, I like to see the small schools, even if they're from Iowa.
Yeah, Schwab's doing Schwab mob out there.
Tough guys out there. 74, we got Hall and Luan and Cutler and Amin. Hall, he had a major to open up the tournament. He has, ever since his match with Valencia, he looks like a different guy. He's not racking up points necessarily, but he is, I don't know, he just looks like he's wrestling with a different level of comfort in his skin.
Yeah, I think the confidence is there. I think he really needed to know he was the best and kind of convince himself. And you're right. He has looked 100% different.
Bottom half of that top bracket is Cutler and Amin. They've both traded matches last year. Cutler won the duel. Amin, I think, won here, or think it was NCAAs, but Cutler was already missing ligaments in his knee, I think, during that match. And I'm going with Cutler. We'll see. If he's aggressive, I think it's him. If he's not aggressive, I think Amin is going to be. Yeah, he's going to create some more opportunities. Cutler has to get off that the straight on thing.
Yep, and yeah, I'm hoping it's gonna be. I like to see Cutler win, but like you said, whoever's setting the pace.
Yeah, we got Valencia versus Harvey from Army, and then Labs versus Lewis on the bottom side. Valencia, I've seen a few of his attacks. Guys, I mean, just watching him shoot. I mean, he is fast. He's slick. I mean, it's like David Taylor with a slightly different position to finish on his attacks. Harvey's had a good season. Coach Ward has had the Army team. I think they had 8 qualifiers, or I mean, they've had some tough matchups here at Nationals, but Coach Ward is building that team, and I dig it. But I'm definitely taking Valencia there.
Well, they've won a few of those tough matchups, though. I mean, they've had a nice tournament. I mean, he's a 22 seed. He beat the 11 and the 6.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, that's a great run.
And he was a little nicked up at one point, but it looks like he's feeling better and focused. So, and then we got Labriola versus Daniel Lewis. Labriola looking good. Who did he beat? He beat the 7 seed, right?
He beat Bullard and Jacoby.
Right. So, I mean, he looks like he's wrestling tough. Lewis, I think, is a little more fundamentally sound, but I think Labriola is going to test his fundamentals. And, I just dig him, so I'm taking Labriola to meet Valencia. But Lewis is tough. I mean, I hate picking against Mizzou guys, but I'm going Labriola.
I mean, outside of some of the Penn State guys, the top ones, Lewis has been the most dominant in the tournament yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think anybody else has 2 pins except maybe Nickel.
Yeah.
I mean, and these are fast. These are 2 first-period pins. Now, you're a 2 seed. You're not getting strong competition, but at the same time, nobody else is pinning all their matches. And as we've seen, as we'll talk about, there are some number 2 seeds that are
gone.
Yeah.
Right? And Labriola is not afraid to go across his back, so I'm wondering if he could get caught there. Well, we'll see. See how that goes. 84. So that was the big upset. Chip Ness from UNC took out Shakur Rashid coming out of the 2 seed. But the top side has been chalk. Martin has looked great. Price is going to face him, and he's a senior out of Lehigh, District 4 kid, I think.
Yep, Milton.
One of my favorite guys on Twitter, not that I spend that much time there, but I just imagine Martin is too slick for him. Martin is just, he may have improved more this year than anybody I've seen.
I mean, with Price, the thing for him was to get to where he is now because it gets him that many rounds farther into the contees.
Yep.
I don't think he's going to beat Martin. He needs an All-American. He needs to get on the podium.
Yeah.
And winning these 2 has just made his path that much easier.
Right,
it's
shortened
just
it
helping
down.
himself out.
Right. He washed out last year. I think he came in as like the 4 or something, and then didn't even get to the blood round. Then we got Max Dean versus Bonacorsi on the bottom side of the top half of the bracket. Dean has looked good. Bonacorsi has looked good. I am not sure. Dean didn't look consistent all year. Had a great EIWAs where he beat Price and rode him hard in a dominating win. I'm not sure. I'm not that familiar with Bonacorsi's bottom work to know if he can get out of Dean's legs.
Yeah, I mean Bonacorsi's young kid. He's not gonna stop shooting. So whoever's better on their feet, if he can't counter him, he's gonna have some trouble. But yeah, most of the Pennsylvania guys traditionally are diversified enough to be able to wrestle on the mat and be able to get out. But Bonacorsi's looking to make a statement for him here in Pittsburgh. I'd like to see him and Philippi make a couple semifinals.
Totally.
Both local Western PA kids on top of it, wrestling at home.
Yep. Bottom half, we got Zach Zavasky, another Western PA kid, versus Foster, and then we have Colbray versus Chip Ness.
Anyone who said they had Colbray or Ness in the semis, you're lying.
Oh, wait a second. Hold on.
Because Colbray was a 10 seed and Ness was a 15.
I had Colbray. I don't know.
In the semis?
I did.
You had him beating Rashid.
No, you're right. I had him beating
Gear. Or Reenan.
Crap.
You had him beating Reenan, but Gear did it for him.
Yeah, I had him losing to Rashid.
Okay.
Colbray.
Yeah.
And he looked good when I saw him. I didn't have him beating Rashid.
Yeah.
No. Anyway, but Colbray's look good. Ness's look good. I'm just not sure if Ness is ready for Colbray's attack. Iowa State has a great pace. Coach Dresser, Metcalf, St. John. I mean, I don't think they're getting any more crap from the Iowa State faithful because they've done a great job.
Yeah, I mean, he got Coach of the Year for a reason. I mean, that turnaround in 1 year is like 180 degrees. I mean, It is just unreal.
Coaching matters, right? All right, who are you taking, Ness or Colbray?
I think Colbray. I mean, he's been more sound. Ness got into a funky danger zone situation with Rashid. Rashid didn't bail soon enough and gave up 6.
One move match, right? That was it.
I mean, Rashid was comfortably 5-2, 2 takedowns, and with an escape to just 2 escapes, and he just got caught in that danger zone and didn't bail fast enough.
All right. Going to 97, we got Nickel versus Traxler. Traxler's had a good year. Stanford's had a good year, but no one's stopping Nickel, I don't think. And even though Stanford is up, I will just say that Traxler had beaten Brucky, I think in the state finals twice, and lost to him earlier this year. So while Stanford's improving, I think the field is also improving too. I'm taking Nickel. Next one down, we got Lane.
Nice upset.
Yeah. Had knocked off Warner. You don't hear of kids. He's a Cal Poly kid, but he came from Garden City, New York. I can honestly say I've never seen anybody at the NCAAs from Garden City, New York. I know Long Island. Don't get angry, but Garden City is not known for. It's known for stockbrokers, not wrestlers. Tough part is he's facing Brucky, and Brucky looks loose and tough and aggressive. Too bad he's probably going to face Nickel in the semifinals. I'd like to see him on the bottom half and that be the final, but
absolutely,
I'm taking Brucky. But Lane keep wrestling tough on the backside. On the bottom half.
I mean, like you said, Brucky was a big one. A lot of people were complaining about the seeds on wanting to get him on the other side. No argument there. 31-1, and there's supposedly 2 other guys better than you. That's hard to picture, but. We'll see. He can prove it against some of them on the backside because, I don't see him beating Nickel at all.
Right. Then we got Weigel, Brunner, and Slay versus Colin Moore. Brunner, I watched one of his matches, and I think it was a very close match. The first match or the second match.
1-0 first match.
That was it, right? I didn't see a ton of aggressiveness there. But I wonder if that's his plan here, and if he can catch Weigel. Weigel had to open things up, had a technical fall in that first match. I don't know if he can slow Weigel down, but I'm taking Brunner because I like what the staff has done at Purdue.
Weigel's tough. I mean, he was hurt. He came back for his senior year to do his last go. He hasn't lost, but only 13 matches. It's hard to say. Yeah.
Weigel's obviously the prohibitive favorite, but I'm taking Brunner. Slay versus Moore. It seems it's almost forgotten right now that Moore was like a freshman phenom 2 years ago, crushed his way to the finals, through the finals, and now he's kind of thought of as a second-tier guy here at 97. Slay, what did he was a 2-1 win, in the first match.
Over Stout of Pittsburgh, and then 9-8 over Aiello of UVA. So he's been keeping it real close in all his matches.
I have it as a toss-up.
Yeah. Slay's been around. I mean, Moore definitely on paper you would think, and if he goes out and pushes the pace, I think it'll be too much for him. But he hasn't done that to the same degree this year as you said he has the previous 2.
Yeah. All right, going on to the big guys, 285. We got White. I'm taking White, and the one that's interesting to me is Stoll versus Wood. Mother's also Stevenson and Desi. But Stoll has looked like, first of all, he was in a crazy match to open things up with Mason Paris, right? We talked about that yesterday. Then he beat Jennings, and now he's got the 4 seed, Jordan Wood. Stoll is a mountain of a guy, right? He's just huge. He is wrestling with a knee brace. Wood has good attacks, but can he knock Stoll over on those
attacks? Can he move him?
Yeah.
I mean, he needs to be able to move him around, get him moving. Stoll's last match with Jennings is what he wants to do. 1-0. He wants to get you in the middle, move you around, no shots, and count on either that riding time or maybe an escape.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Wood needs to stay active and mobile and athletic and move, and then I think he can do it if he does that.
Yeah, I think Wood is going to win, like you said, and I'm going to say it's a cardio thing. He may be down, but I think he's going to win in the third period, having better lungs. Top part of the bottom half of the bracket here. This is a barn burner. Stevenson versus Desi. Desi has, I mean, I don't know. I've not seen him all season. People said he's nicked up. He's looked really tough.
He's put up 36 points.
I mean, and this is a heavyweight. And Stevenson, I've seen him shut it down after getting a takedown. So even if Stevenson's up a couple points on a takedown, if Desi can get out, I think he's going to push the pace. And I can't believe I'm picking against Stevenson, but I'm thinking it's Desi because of the cardio. I mean, Stevenson's another one of those guys like Yanni. Everybody's down there warming up, and he's down there eating a big sub, just relaxed, chilling out.
I mean, Desi's a hammer. I mean, the way he was cradling Haynes in that match where he just lock up an airside cradle, take it over. He couldn't pin him with it, but he must have got 2 or 3 sets of backwards out of it.
Tech falled him, right?
Yeah. 2 tech fall. 1 major, 1 tech fall. But 18 points in both.
Crazy. I'm taking an upset. I'm taking Desi. And I'm taking the Caesar salad.
Yep. Kasser has looked good. I think we've seen him and Hilger before. I don't think it's going to be a problem. All he needs to do is not look past this match towards whoever he's going to get in the semi.
Yeah.
As long as he's focused, not looking too far ahead, I think it should put him nicely in the semis with a strong opponent for tonight.
That could be maybe the best semi if it doesn't matter if it's Stevenson or Desi versus Gasser. I mean, these are not like even your older brother's heavyweights. These guys are, they're serious athletes, and it's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to watching it. All right. Anything else, Jamie?
That's it. Can't wait. Get ready to walk on over and see some wrestling.
All right, everybody. Talk to you after this round.